All right, here we are. Welcome, all zero people so far. No, no, no. But yeah, we're doing something a little different this time. We probably should have told people we're actually going on.
Yeah.
Sabrina, did you tell anybody?
I broadcasted on in the group that we were going live tonight. Did not let anyone know what time because I did not know exactly what time we were going to be getting on. But hello, everyone.
Well, hello. Um, all right. Well, we in the building. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make this work. I see it's on, so I'm gonna click this and expand it. All right. Bear with us as we are getting this situated here. I'm rocking like five different windows at the same time, so this is what it is right now. Sabrina, wave to the people. If you're in the chat, say something, say hello. I see y'all peeking. Y'all be peeking and then disappearing. You know what I'm saying? Did you say
We are
something?
in here. I said hello.
Hmm. Okay.
Did you did you see me?
Yeah, I saw you. Okay, so we good.
Okay. All right, good.
All right, so basically, I want to introduce people. Hey, what's up, y'all? I see y'all in there. All right, what's up? Milagros and Anna. Thank you for being social and saying hi. I like to play with my knife when I'm talking. Sometimes I have this thing where I have a hard time sitting still because I'm always moving. And yes, I have a cat in my background because I like cats. So don't judge my cat.
Okay, sir.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so check this out, right? So we have a YouTube page. Our YouTube page, which I'm gonna post a link in the chat. Boom. That will be where you'll find our archived episodes. You will find us live there too. We would much appreciate people to like, subscribe, share. From the YouTube, it's way easier than trying to do it off of the group and whatever because the group is private. For those that are in the group, some people might not be in it. And if you're not, I probably sent you an invite. You ain't accepted yet. You gotta get on that.
Yeah.
So tonight we
Can
are
I give
starting
something
off.
right quick before you get started?
Yes, go ahead.
OM to the G. I am so proud of us this week. We created our page on Facebook, our group rather, on Facebook Monday. Invited quite a few people. We invited almost 2,000 people, was it? Or was it a little over 1,000 people?
You probably saw that number better than me.
Yeah, I saw like 1,100 or so people that we invited. Um, the very first day, we got 50 followers. By the end of the week, we're over 200 and something members in this private group. So I'm so proud of us, just for that little accomplishment that we did. And our page is growing constantly every single day. So, and we just got this thing started. It's been a week. So I'm just very happy about this. Shout out to us for that. So that's a great accomplishment for the social experiment. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank you
that's
everyone for
definitely
joining. Yes, definitely.
yes. All right. So now to get down to brass tacks. First of all, how's everybody doing? Did you get your? Did you take your jabs yet? Did you do your drugs? Did you get
Oh,
whatever you need to get? Are y'all laid up with a fellas? You laid up with a nice soft booty. Ladies, you got a nice strong man to lay upon. You know, hopefully on this Saturday you can do such. And hopefully after we finish talking, y'all will cuddle closer and not push each other apart. Cause we cover some real shit on here. We don't spare the rod. We talk very straightforward, very real. A little background on myself for those that don't know. I have been a relationship counselor and life coach for years. I do most of my work P2P, which means I don't really advertise online. Most of the work that I've done has been via referral only because when you advertise stuff like this online, there's a lot of bullshit that goes with it. And I like to really be specific on the clientele I take on, as some people are just too much to really be bothered with. A lot of people like to play games. Nobody has time for that. So if you are interested, you hit me on the side. I've worked with many people in many different walks of life. We always sign NDAs, so I never use your name or anything or put your business out there like that. If I even reference something that has something to do with you, is a very vague reference and nothing that would ever trace back. And that's just when I'm talking via the stream or so on and so forth. Sabrina, tell them a little bit
Yes.
about yourself.
Well, I don't know what else. I don't know really what to tell them.
Just tell
Just
them
that
who
I'm
you
Sabrina. I am 41 years old, single, been married and divorced. I only have one kid, and I have a lot of dating experience. So, yes, I've experienced in dating and relationships. So, um, I wouldn't call myself a professional, but definitely I could give some great advice when it comes to dating and relationships, and I can take advice as well. So, definitely, co-host to Max. So, this is a great opportunity for me and him both. So, but that's the gist of what you're gonna get from me for right now.
are. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with something that I feel a lot of people struggle with, which is proper dating etiquette and how to actually properly shoot that shot. I see a lot of times people walk around in these Facebook groups, they walk around, and shooting your shot in person is a lot different than shooting your shot online. Online, you actually have more of a tactical advantage because you can kind of check them out, look at them a little bit, really get a look at them, see what they're about, what's on their mind before you even talk to them. So you can actually find something that's striking to you, aside from what they look like, to either turn you on more or pull you away. So I would like to start this off by saying, wait a minute, and no, 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 it is not a disaster. We said, Anna says that online dating is a disaster. It's not. The thing that makes it a disaster is the way that you handle it.
Mhm.
You have to go into this online dating thing. Online dating is the new thing. And I want to
Mhm.
ask a favor. Anybody that's on this thing and you're watching right now, just click the like button on the thing, like the video, please. Um, but online dating is very regular and common these days. Online dating is something that everybody's doing. In my dating, the people I meet and have met in my past, as well as who I met now, that's all about online dating. I didn't meet them in a dating site, but you meet them just online and you talk, you have a little conversation. I say it's best to try to not make it too awkward. So keep the conversation PG until you know where they're coming from. Because some of y'all folks is nasty and y'all be doing too much. Fellas, don't harpoon the meat into the inbox as soon as they say hi. This is goofball shit. Like, come on, it's annoying. 2022, we still got to tell people, don't show your dingling right away. At least talk to them a little bit first. See what they about. That's something that I feel is like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to say, just on the male side, fellas, don't let these women play games with their communication. If they not communicating well, don't message them 25, 35 fucking times. Leave a couple of messages. I do this with people that I fucks with. You leave a message or two, and you wait, and they will either hit you back or they won't. That's just common sense. You look crazy when you got like 10 messages rolling down a thing and they never responded to you. They looking at you like you stupid.
Like you've been talking to yourself this whole time, which you have.
Which you had. And Sabrina, on the lady side, just give them a couple
Mhm.
of tips as to what they're gonna do. Because I got another tip too, but I'm gonna throw that out in a little bit.
Stop expecting every man to be just for you. Just because he hopped in your inbox, that does not mean that he is not hopping in other inboxes. It's a possibility that he's hopped in 20 inboxes on top of yours. Uh, I've learned to even do a little bit of research when they get to talking and um, trying to say they want to meet up and hook up. Make sure that he's not married, got some girlfriend or some sort of situationship going on. You know, they might tell you, "Oh, I got nobody" or whatever. You know, but I don't go by what I hear all the time. I go by what I see because that's the advantage that we have now on social media. We can check. You know, there's a way to go through to check to see, you know, if he's got somebody, if you don't want somebody that has somebody. If you're going after that, this good for you. But yes, definitely I would check for all of that as well. Um, Also, if I get to the point where I am serious about somebody or trying to or it's getting a little serious, we're getting a little close, I go ahead and unfollow because things can get mixed up. Women, men, whomever are going to say things to him, you know, and just in case you're one of those that get a little jealous or insecure or want to know who this is that he's talking to next or whatever, you might feel like he's flirting. Okay, well, this in order for you to not feel embarrassed or insecure, unfollow his page or unfriend him. Don't go looking. So that's what I do. I don't want no problem. I need my peace. I enjoy my peace. So I unfriend and I unfollow. I've learned that the hard way.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this. I disagree.
Okay.
The reason why I disagree, and I mean, this is my opinion.
Hmm.
I'm just another guy, right? The reason why I disagree is I think the true test as to what somebody is going to be to you is the level of acceptance. So if you have to duck, hide, and close your eyes like this in order to deal with them, then they're not for you. You can't, you shouldn't have to walk on an eggshell. You shouldn't have to move in any specific type of way. You should be able to walk the same way you've been walking, talk the same way you've been motherfucking talking. And either you gonna like it or you gonna lump it. They go one way or the other. You got two choices: walk in the door or walk out the door. That's always the option, no matter who it is. I think the concept of not being on somebody's social media simply because you can't take a little bit of flirting. Here's a news flash. Ladies, if you like him, there's another 35, 45, 55 women who also like him too. No matter how ancient or whatever he may be, he's still going to have a bunch of women that's going to like him just because. It is what it is. So, as long as he's about you and he's showing you that you matter to him, that's what you focus on. You leave that background noise in the background. Fellas, same for you. I'm tired of y'all getting nervous when I walk by y'all. You know how many times I'm walking by and I'll see a dude just grab his girl by the hand and all of a sudden he's all up on her. And I'm looking like, bro, I'm not even checking for your woman. I'm just minding my business. And this happens a lot. Don't be afraid to let other people see the amazing beauty that you have in your arms. If you have to guard them with your life because you're afraid somebody else is going to take them, then they were never yours to begin with. So that's my personal opinion. Is I disagree with the unfollow. You should be able to follow all my social media, see what the fuck I'm doing, and know that my shit is out in the front, on Front Street, transparent. Because let me tell you something, I don't need nobody else coming to you telling you no fuck shit. Because the moment that anybody would be to come to a partner, if this is your partner, you want you to be the first one to tell them something, not them finding out from a third party. Because they don't see it because they're not on your social media. Oh, you was at a party dancing, carrying on. So, in my world, that's a regular thing. That's not even a big deal. You was dancing, you went dance, you came home. It ain't gonna be a surprise because guess where he was when he left the party?
Okay. I still say unfollow. I was still gonna stick with that.
But that in itself is a sign of insecurity.
No, it's not. My whole thing is it's more than just about that. What if you two had an argument? You thinking everything that he posts is subliminal? No,
It's called
no.
maturity and communication. If you communicate, and
I,
that's
if
a
it's
mature adult.
if it's insecurity, then that's just insecurity. So just to
But the
get rid
thing
of my
is,
insecurity, I'm unfollowing.
you know what the biggest problem is? A rug is only but so big. So you can only stuff but so much dirt underneath that rug
I got you.
before it starts to lump up.
I got you. But I still, and a lot of other people might agree with me on this too. And I've seen people agree with me on this as well. I don't feel like social media should, because the days before social media, we had a little bit more peace in a relationship. So now you see a
Social
lot more
media is a
things.
big
So
temptation.
it's, yes, it's very big. So that's for me. I'm like, I'm going to unfollow him now.
Yo,
I
what up,
got it. I
Dave?
trust. I'm gonna go ahead and let him do his thing on there. I don't need to see everything now.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't see ain't gonna hurt me. So that's my way of having peace of mind. Because I know he gonna come right back home to me. That's my whole thing about it.
Well, that's a mature way to handle it, but I still feel like you shouldn't have to duck and slide.
I got
As
you.
me personally, like I said, there's many different ways to handle a relationship. I suggest transparency beyond anything else because it avoids a lot of arguments. Nobody can ever come and try to throw some wrench in it to try to mess up your relationship if you have an open dialogue to each other. It's the same thing as when you're raising your children, if you think about it. If you give a comfortable space, a judgment free space where dialogue is completely open, you will find that your kids won't keep too much from you because you've made it comfortable for them to talk to you. And that relationship coincides very much in that way with a person that you're romantically involved with. If you're dealing with somebody on a romantic level, it is very important that you have that transparency. Because if you don't have that transparency, what ends up happening is people could come and feed a bunch of bullshit. And no matter how evolved you are in your thinking, people keep feeding things in your ear. Eventually, something's going to sink in. And it's going to plant a seed of doubt. And all it takes is that one seed of doubt to start to ruin a relationship. Ever said, I believe if the relationship is a committed relationship, then accountability should be involved. The male and female should have access to one another's social media accounts. I can respect that. Even though I'll say this. If I have a partner, I trust them enough that I'm not going to access their account. I can tell them what's going on. I might verbalize, hey, somebody tried to shoot their shot, make a little laugh about it, it's cool, whatever. But that's where it stops. I'm not going to be sitting there scrolling through all the bullshit, especially a female. Do you know how many dick pics get harpooned into their inbox? I don't want to see all that shit. I'd rather just, that is some ignorance I'd rather have. I know it's there. I know it's being sent there. But I have my own. I'd rather look at mine. I don't need to see everybody else's all smattered about in the inbox. And I'm sure a lot of men would feel that way. But I will say, I don't knock it if you do say, you want to exchange social media, is fine. Me personally, and this isn't a knock to anybody, but I don't even believe in joint social media accounts. Unless you're of a certain, unless you are both looking for something together. In that case, I kind of get it. Because it's like, we're a couple, we're looking for this, whatever. Fine. But other than that, I think it is very in a relationship. Let me say this: in a relationship, it is very healthy to have separate lives. You should not be adjoined at the hip. That is very unhealthy. You have to have other things you do that doesn't involve your partner. If everything you do involves your partner, like if you don't go nowhere without them and vice versa, or the moment you decide to scratch your balls, you don't use your left or right hand until you make a decision with her. And same thing, except, you know, a woman scratching her ass. She don't know which hand to use until she talks to you. That means you need to kind of work on your trust exercises a little bit, because people that tend to stick too close to each other all the time, typically it's called love and closeness, but really it's a matter of you trying to babysit and referee every situation and encounter they have.
I disagree with that.
Really? So you would like to see people joined at the hip, you say?
Not on social media. I don't like
I'm
that.
talking about
However,
social media, real life, everything.
in real life, I mean, I've actually been in relationships where, well, I guess because it was different, but I've been in a relationship where we were very close, and he wouldn't go anywhere without me. I wouldn't go anywhere without him. But I guess because we were young, but we just enjoyed each other's company that much that we did everything
How old
together.
were y'all?
We early 20s, but that was just different.
All right, you
That
know
was
what?
different.
Let's get back to the adults conversation.
I was
We
just
trying to have some
saying.
grown talk here. You want to talk about something you did when you just learned how to drink some liquor right?
Shut up. I'm just saying though, but honestly,
Would you do
that
that
was that
now?
was no. I'm grown. I'm too
Thank
grown for all
you.
that.
Yeah, we
But
are
I'm
trying to
just
talk.
saying, people are.
We are
Hold
trying
on
to teach
now.
people how to be grown folks here.
Hold on. The reason I say that is because that was the most in love I had ever been with anybody, or he's ever been with me, that I feel. You know, that person's no longer alive. So I mean, we did just about everything together. So that's why I
That's
say
cool.
that. I mean, if we just enjoyed each other that much, we enjoyed each other's company that freaking much.
That's fair. Okay, so here's my thing, right? I think trust exercises are a major key in order to keep your relationship strong. I think having differences is very healthy. I think people that are too much alike are the first ones to fail in relationships. There's
Yes.
one person I never forget. It was somebody I used to counsel. I ain't gonna call their business out, but this is it's just their family dynamic is very interesting. Because I make house calls too, even though I prefer to meet in a neutral location. But sometimes I'll sit in the house as long as it's not weird or anything. But anyway, so I came to this one young lady's house. She was about, eh, this was years ago. I'm trying to remember. She was like 30, I think, at the time. And they had a nice big house, whatever. Her parents was together. Her mom was a pastor. The dad was barely interested. And the thing is, they've been married for 35 years or something like that. I forget how many years they've married. God willing, I hope they're still married today. But I will say this: as different as they are, and I remember I would talk to because that dynamic fascinated me. Because I always hear people say, "Oh, if you're not of my belief set, it's not gonna work." Because I see the people shoot themselves in the leg with that so many times in their relationship dynamics. I've seen them when they're listing what it is they like. They're talking about this. Now, granted, I get it. You might not necessarily want an atheist
Mhm.
if you're a religious person. If you're Christian per se, you might not necessarily want to get with a devil worshiper. I mean, there's certain things where I get it, but I mean, I've seen situations work out where, as a matter of fact, many times I've seen this, but that was the best one because that was an example where they like legit married together for mad long, and they come from totally different backgrounds, but their shit still works. And I remember I spoke to the older guy, and I was asking him, like, it's totally weird. Like, she goes to preach, and you're sitting there watching the football game, and it's funny. I was like, he's like, no, no. He says for the big stuff, he shows up. You know what I mean? He would tell me the big stuff he would show up for. But like on a regular Sunday, he'd be chilling watching football because he worked hard and he was tired. So I found that interesting, and the reason why I use that story is because people have to learn. It is very important to respect each other's differences.
Mhm.
I think that's something that is often missed and is looked at as a detriment when it should be an add-on. Think about it. If you're both the same, how do you learn anything from the person you're with if both of y'all have the exact same shit in your heads? And the whole point of having a partner is to be with somebody and be able to evolve and grow. You can't evolve and grow with somebody that's saying the same exact shit as you. So now that I've done rambled on about that shit, um, Sabrina, I was curious about something, right?
What's that?
What do you think about these dating profiles and these dating apps and stuff? Because we had touched on that before, but we didn't really talk about it too much. And I just want to know what you think about it. Like I said, you are on there. I am not. I have had zero interest in those things. And fortunately enough, I don't really need to bother with it now. But my point is that what do you think about it?
I think that when you're ready to date, that you should be on there. I find that there's a lot of people on there that's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm just here. I'm just trying this out. Okay, then you don't need to be on there if you're just trying it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people out there that are really looking to find relationships and find love on dating apps. That's the purpose, the whole purpose. And then get on there for a purpose, okay? For the
Right.
purpose of dating and for the purpose of being in a relationship with someone if that's what you're looking for, whatever you're looking for. Be for real with what you're looking for, as a matter of fact. Do that too. So a lot of people, I don't think that they are real with themselves when it comes to dating apps. Um, I also find that there's a lot of crazies on there.
I
I made a
mean,
mis-
that's
I
the
made a
internet.
mistake of I made a mistake of giving my number to a guy who I thought was sane, and he did not call me. And I was not hard up about him calling because I had others to talk to. But when I see that you're not conversing or trying to reach out, communicate with me as much as you were before, I'm deleting your profile. And so this particular guy, I guess he saw that I deleted his profile. You know, after he didn't call me for a week and he had my number, I just deleted it. I was like, okay, well, not gonna hear from him. You know, no skin off my teeth. So just deleted him. The very same day that I deleted him, he decides to contact me. But guess what? He didn't call my phone. He contacted me through video chat. So
He
I'm
just
like,
randomly
wait,
video chatted you.
yes, just randomly. And so
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
these fucking people.
okay, who is this? You know, so of course, you know, I picked up and I talked to him for a while. And then I'm like, so he just did this because he saw that I deleted him off of that
Uh-huh.
app. And he wasn't that very interesting anyway. I had reserves about him and I blocked him. So then he just I guess he saw he couldn't call me through, you know, the video chat. So he decided to contact me through my phone. He called me through my phone, going to work early in the morning, driving, and then I just pick up the phone. You know how you automatically just pick up the phone, and
Uh-huh.
so I hear his voice, and I look down and I see that telephone number, and I'm like, God dang it, I forgot, I forgot to block him here. So I hung up. I'm one of those, you know, if we
Mhm.
had not been talking for a while or whatever, okay, I blocked you. You're getting blocked here too.
That's
So
it.
I blocked him on the phone, and he texts me, and I'm like, why is my phone doing this to me? Why is my phone deceiving me? He asked me, why are you hanging up on me? I'm like, I didn't answer back, but he kept calling. He kept calling, and so I'm just like, oh my god, he
Okay,
called
hold
me
up. Time
for
out.
three
Time out.
days.
Can we tell a good story about this shit? Jesus. Now you're sounding like Anna from before. Now it's a disaster and everything. I'm trying to give people hope so that they
I
can
just
actually. Oh my God. It's like, see,
listen though. It's not a disaster. There are just bad episodes that you may have. It's not a disaster. You can meet people online through dating apps that you can become friends with, even if nothing happens from there. Okay. Um, I'm not gonna go through all I've been through on social media and dating apps. Not gonna go through the rundown on all of that. However, you know, I will say that I have met some who I've just become friends with. So, I mean, if it just comes to that, then that's great. You've gained a connection through that. You know, so it can't be a disaster all the time. I guess she's saying it's a disaster because she hasn't found love. She's probably found guys who's done things that they should not have, or have done things to hurt her, or just whatever.
mhm.
But I wouldn't say disaster. I would just say there are just people out there that are different and weird. I've come to find that out too. There are just weird people on there. So from in my experience, um, it was just too slow for me. It's I'm no longer on there. It's just too slow. And then on top of that, I just don't have time for it. I figured it out myself that, sometimes I think I'm ready for something, and then I find out, okay, no, I'm not. I'm not really ready to be out here like that, meeting this. So my whole situation with that is I had to let everybody go because I'm not ready.
And that's something else I want to touch on. A lot of times, people think that they're ready to date. A lot of times, people think that they're ready to get out there and be a part of this dating world, but they carry all of this trauma. They never want to sit down with anybody. They never want to work through stuff. But they think by magic that if they just keep, once again, let's go back to, like Dave DeRee said, hashtag rug talk. We keep shoving that shit under the rug. It's just going to magically evaporate into nothing, and it'll be as if nothing ever happened. That is the problem. You can't put this shit away. You have to confront it and overcome it. I don't care who you think you are, what kind of Wonder Woman, Wonder Man, Superman, Superwoman. You could be any of the things you want to be. But you have to make sure that you're ready. There's no shame in getting counsel. There are levels to counseling. If you're just simply having a difficulty with dating, relationships, maybe want to try to come at it, get some fresh ideas, fresh angles, such and such and such, a person like me is good. General life stuff, a person like me is good. If you really have some serious depression or whatever the case may be, or some really major trauma, you might need a really medical hand at that, which would require somebody of a higher level of psychotherapy that can help you get through that. Mental health is essential for your survival. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have on you. Not this, not anything else. Your mind. If you want to believe you are sick, you best believe your body will manifest that shit. You cannot play games with your mental health. This is like the stupid shit that people do, where they put a fucking mask on. Yes, I'm going there. When they put a fucking mask on, talk about they worried about COVID, but they going outside to smoke a cigarette. Huh? Where are we doing that? Or you see somebody harping on oh my God, the vaccine is the big evil devil, which, by the way, I've taken my third shot. And I'm probably healthier than most of the people that's fighting against taking it. It didn't do anything to me again. I just took it a couple of days ago. And then I worked 12 hours after that. I was fine. I'm not saying people don't have adverse reactions, and I get it. I still believe that taking that vaccine is your choice. But I believe if you're not going to take the vaccine, please do me a favor. Find a healthy alternative to take care of yourself. Everything that we're going to be doing on this podcast is all about the betterment of yourself. We'll talk a lot of stupid shit and probably some ratchet shit too. But it's really about the betterment of yourself. What he says, Serena?
I said I love the ratchet shit we talk about.
I know. Once you do the ratchet shit, I'm gonna just sit back and let you go because that's your area of
No, because
expertise.
you be getting into ratchet shit.
I don't do anything. I say my business.
All right.
That is my life now. I be chilling.
Sir.
So here's my thing: is that at the end of the day, getting back to mental health, your mind is irreplaceable. Once that fucker breaks, it is a bitch to put it back together.
Yes.
It's like you carry a sheet of glass. As long as you have some hands to help you carry that sheet, you can make it from point A to B with no problem. You try to carry that same piece of glass by yourself, one slip up, you shatter that thing to pieces. You can never put that thing back the way it came. You can't play with your mental health. Get help from somewhere. I don't care if you call me. I don't care if you go to somebody else, but go somewhere and get that worked out because that is an essential. It's as essential as eating food, as breathing air, as knowing how to tie your own shoe and open the door, as knowing how to read and write. This is an essential. Your mind needs to be able to function properly. There are people that are on the street, homeless, and the only reason they out there is because they lost their minds. And with it, they lost everything else. Everybody that's out there aren't drug addicts and just random crazies.
Right.
There are people that legit just had something that just caused them a mental break. And it's not always about money because there's many people with money and success that have also killed themselves or had mental breakdowns. Because you don't know what somebody's going through behind that door.
Right.
You just see them on TV or you see them in the street or you see them at the store, wherever you see your people at. But you never know what it is that's actually going on in here. And you need to also keep in mind, be mindful of yourself. Understand, if you have children and you are not taking care of your mental health, you are doing your children a disservice.
Yes.
Because if you break down, especially for you single parents, you break down, what are them kids gonna have now? They have a mental breakdown. They get pushed into the system until you get your shit together. Don't put them through that. Take care of your trauma on your own. If you're having a hard time dating for some really trivial reasons, don't overlook that. Understand that that is a smaller part of a bigger whole. That's something that can grow into a disaster. It's kind of like when you get a small hole in your pants. You keep wearing them pants, that hole's gonna grow. Mental health.
Can
Sabrina,
we
what do you think?
can we hit on I asked a question in the group earlier this week
Oh, did
um
you? Which one
about
was that?
I asked the fellas who they vent to.
Ha,
I'm always concerned about men and who they vent to and and I got a whole lot of answers. Most of the answer is they vent to God. That's a wonderful thing to have um, God to fall back on, to talk to. I ain't gonna say fall back on, but just talk to and get things out. However, no one said that they go to counseling.
not one.
Now, I can understand that a lot of men or a lot of people don't like to, talk about their issues with someone that they don't really know. But a lot of them said that they don't talk to other people because they fear that their information would be used against them, or that they don't want people knowing exactly what they're going through. They don't want to tell all of their information. I got a whole bunch of answers, and it was very interesting. However, going and seeking counseling is not something terrible for you to do, guys. It is something that will help you in the long run because you may think that you have it all together while you're saying, "Oh, I keep it pushing." Okay, well, you keep it pushing for you, but you might not be keeping it real with everybody else around you. You might be hurting other people in the midst of you keeping it pushing. You got to think about that. If you're going to be with somebody, if you got a family, and I know y'all got families and whomever, that may feel like you might not be doing things so well. You might need someone to literally help you open up your eyes. Since you say you talk to God, okay, great. That is awesome. Awesome that you talk to God. Great. I'm not knocking that whatsoever. But at the same time, God put people on this earth to help you to see certain things that you can't see either. Okay, so it's okay to go and talk to somebody who's going to literally keep their mouth shut about your business. That will give you some insight, a better insight or a better outlook on how you look at things, how you do things. So just keep an open mind about going and seeking counseling. I'm done with that.
There's something else I was thinking about in terms of things that have been discussed. We had a few things up in the group. We also had this thing up in the group. I ain't gonna call nobody's name, but a certain villain of YouTube, according to some females anyway, and some men. I personally don't think he's a villain. I feel like he has some good points. Some things I don't agree with. But I will say this. If I was to take the statement that was said, which was if you're dating somebody after 5 p.m., that you need to understand that sex is definitely on the table. My personal opinion of that, because I never stated my opinion on that, I just posted. My personal opinion on that is that whenever a man talks to a woman, sex is on his mind. Believe it or not, fellas, most of the time when you're talking to that woman, sex is on her mind too. The only difference is she's looking to see what a nonverbal cues and what verbal shit you're gonna say that's either gonna make you get closer or further away from that goal that you want, which is to have her in your arms, to be able to be intimate with her, all of that good stuff. This is not something that can be governed by a clock. I personally think it's a stupid concept to think you have to be out at a certain time of day or night if you don't want sex to be on the table. I can take someone on a lunch date. Doesn't mean I don't want to fuck. We're men. We always want to fuck. Sometimes we can use better decision making on the people we choose to sleep with. But nonetheless, we always want to. So that whole time, it's before this time, I find that to be kind of silly. But I get what he's saying. What was probably meant to have been said was if you go on to something, if you go out with somebody after a certain time of night, understand that the probability for sexual activity is going to increase the later it gets, which is true. So we all think about the first times we messed with somebody that we were dating. Typically, it's late at night. Probably after you was hanging out, blah blah blah, a little whatever. Maybe you were talking and just was like, you know what? I want to see you. And next thing you know, boom, you going for something. Or maybe even came to their house to fix something. And then they helped you fix something else. because that too can happen. There's many different options. Which, by the way, fellas, let me tell you, it pays to have a bag of tools. I just looked over at mine because having knowledge with them tools can help your tool get some knowledge. Understand me if you understand. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, she laughing because she get what the fuck I'm saying. I mean, these are just real things, though. Like, all jokes aside, nobody has all the answers when it comes to dating and relationships. Sabrina has some good perspectives on stuff. Me and her talked offline about a couple of interesting things. Um, I have my perspective.
Can I hit on what you were just saying about Kevin Samuels? I do agree. I don't want to
You
mention his
calling people
name.
names? We
Sorry.
don't call people names when we're online. Thank you. I'm gonna have
Sorry,
to
didn't
edit
mean
that.
to. Okay, sorry. Anyway,
You know.
my I do agree with him though. I mean, not agree with him, sorry. I agree with you. I agree that I understand what he said. Um, after a certain time, sex is on the table. Okay, it's not actually required. He said required. I did hear that, but
What's the word
definitely
required, sir?
he said required.
Ooh, that's a heavy word.
Yes,
Women
and
did not
so
like that very
no
much,
one,
did
no
they?
one is required to give anybody sex, no matter what gender you are.
Because
Okay.
I was about to say, us men get required to give it up. They be like, if they take us out on a date, they're expecting us to put out. You know what I'm saying?
Not all the time, but yeah, most of the time. I'm not gonna even lie.
Now, exactly. See?
But that's just me though. That's just me because you know me.
A lot of women think like that. It ain't just you.
You know me. I'm paying.
Oh,
Okay, but
yeah.
anyway, back to that subject. No,
Uh-huh.
seriously, if this is like a first date thing or whatever, it's not required for anybody to literally give up the goods on whatever. Even if it is a fifth date, it could be a sixth date. None of that is required. Okay. However, I do believe that after a certain time, he asking you out, y'all going out after a certain time. It's after 7, after 8, especially 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
9 o'clock, that booty call hours. So I mean, come on now.
9 o'clock is
You
booty
go
call hours.
yes, after 9 o'clock,
See,
it's
this is
booty
how you
call
can tell
hour.
that I live in
Stop
New York City and she lives in Florida.
it.
Because 9 o'clock is us getting out early just to go to dinner out here.
You still getting
We
your booty
already
called
talking.
on.
She already talking about going to bed at that time. That's crazy.
Can I just talk, please, sir?
By all means,
I'm just
it
saying,
is passion men talking. It is
everybody knows that after 9 o'clock, it's booty call hour. You're gonna be getting called on booty. So even if it's a date, that's after booty call hours.
okay.
So he's going to not expect, but but yes, it's on the table. The expectation. Yes, it's expected that you get some after that certain time. So I mean, unless you going home straight home after the date, but I mean,
Right.
even then, he just might ask you over to his place. I mean, you got to just know after a certain time. There's an expectation for that.
Right.
That's all he's
Okay.
saying.
That's fair. My thing is this. I look at it and I'm like, I'm not gonna allow myself to be railroaded into somebody's expectation. I give a damn what time of the day it is. Now, I do agree with you that it does tend to get more on the table as time goes by.
Mhm.
There's no question about that. I will also say sex is not something, and this is, I'm going to kind of roll on to something else real quick. Excuse me. Had to hit something real quick. Um, I want to roll on to something else real quick, right? For you ladies that like to do the 90-day shenanigans, y'all should cut that shit out. I say after a couple of weeks to a month, you should know whether you want to mess with this guy. For sure. Not like you should have finished with your phone calls and evaluations and so on and so forth. I personally think that people that do the 90-day rule show signs of brain damage. The reason why I say that is because who the hell in their right mind wants to spend 90 days of their life hemming and hawing with somebody? Understand that while you're sitting there hemming and hawing for your 90 days, that man, if he wants to get some cheeks, he gonna clap some cheeks. Ain't nothing you gonna say or do gonna make that happen any different. And while you're sitting there playing, hold up, wait a minute. Somebody else is in his ear getting his attention and having an intimate connection with him while you're still dragging. That in itself can work against you because, believe it or not, men develop intimate connections with women, just like women develop intimate connections with men. It works on both sides of the street. So if you're playing the game, understand that you making him wait, where really you're just making yourself wait, is not doing anything conducive to your relationship. Because here's the thing: men are patient when they want something. A man will wait years to get up on a woman that he wants if he wants physically to get up on. It don't mean he ain't doing nothing else in the meantime, but he'll keep putting his feelers out there, play the game, go through the process until you finally drop your guard and let him in. If he was going to be the type to smash and go, he was going to smash and go anyway. It's kind of like the saying from Bronx Tale. You could turn this into money and say, you had one little experience with him, it didn't work out, you got off cheap. You know why? Because the greatest currency you have in this universe is time. We are three-dimensional creatures that have no control over the lapsing of time. Time is going to lapse at the same rate, whether we want it to or not. So, knowing that you have a currency that's forever diminishing, don't waste it on individuals that ain't worth your time. And you know who is and who isn't worth your time. But when you find those that are worth your time, invest time in them. Also, know what you're dating for. If you're dating for marriage, you should date for marriage. If you're dating to be, if you're just dating because you just want to hang out and then have some fun, that's fine. Find like-minded people that are looking to just hang out and have some fun. Well, understand what your purpose is. Because a lot of people are running around here, they're wasting their time. They on these dating apps, they don't even know what they want, who they want, or why they want. Those kind of things can be problematic. How are you going to meet somebody and you don't even know what you want? How are you going to know if they the one for you or not? Imagine, fellas, you scrolling through, saying yes, no, whatever to her profile. Then you meet her. She has all these great qualities. Everything sounds good. But you're sitting there hemming and hawing because you're not sure if this is what you want. You might want something different. These are things you need to identify before you waste people's time. Because some people take it really personally. I take it personally. I don't like my time wasted. Because you can't get that back. Once that time is gone, that is it. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. Value added use of time, especially for you busy people like myself who are still trying to have relationships. You have to learn how to value add your time and use it properly. That is only going to happen if you try to maximize the time you have at your disposal. Meaning, when you're out on a date, put the phone down. Pay attention to the date. If you find that your phone is more interested in your date, save yourself some time. Go home. This goes for you too, fellas. We've been out with some boring ass women, and we're like, holy shit, will she ever shut the fuck up? But because most of us are nice, we're not gonna shit on her right then and there. We'll ride it off for the date. And then when the date's over, that's it. But anyway, you have anything else, Sabrina?
Yes, I do. I don't agree with getting rid. I don't agree with getting rid of the 90-day rule. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not okay. The 90-day rule is not a game. Okay, I wouldn't say it's a game at all. Um, I did get my first husband with the 90-day rule. Now, whether he was with someone on the side or not, that was not my concern. My only concern was how he treated me within those 90 days. And I was not playing any game. The reason I say that is because I knew what I wanted at that time. Okay. It gave me time before I wasted my time giving him any sex to know whether I should get emotionally involved with him or not. Because whether people want to admit it or not, sex can be emotional. You already gained some sort of connection without sex. So I wanted to make sure that everything was okay with me because I had things that I went through prior to him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make him pay for it, but I wanted to make sure that I was following the rules that I set for myself and the standards that I set for myself as well. And we learned each other. Those 90 days give you time to really, really learn each other. So we kept it interesting. You know, we courted each other. He got the chance to meet my son. I had a child in all of this. You know, I was a single parent at the time. So I had to not just think about myself, I had to think about my child.
Mm-hmm.
So we dated with the whole purpose of getting married. So that's why I implemented that 90-day rule that people want to call. I hate that 90-day rule. Shit. I don't want to call it that, but I guess that's what it is. Yeah. But although, you know, I mean, he showed me what a good man he was within that 90 days. Our marriage did not work. We stayed together for, you know, altogether 10 years. We only stayed married, honestly, for 2.5 years out of all those 10 years. But still, nonetheless, that is how I got my first husband. I will say that. Okay. Nothing is guaranteed. This love shit. So that was my whole thing when I walked away from that marriage. It wasn't guaranteed. People change. You outgrow each other. You stop loving each other. Okay, when the love is gone, what you gonna do? Stay? No, you can't. Ain't no love there. So I'm just saying, you know, at least I know that now, you know, and I know what to look for now. I mean, it took 10 hard ass years to learn, but I did go through it and I'm out of it.
Okay. And would you do that again? 90 days, George?
Hell no. because I like sex too much. Just gonna let you know that now I'm fucking 90-day rule. I was 25 at that time. I'm 41
You
now.
know
Fuck
what?
that.
Listen, we're gonna have a rule. We're gonna call this the Sabrina rule, right? When we are asking questions about the input on something, we prefer it to be something from somewhere in the realm of the years of recent yonder.
I'm just
Not,
telling the truth about my
no, I
journey,
hear
sir.
you. But the problem is like you just said, that's dumb shit that was happening at 20 something. You're not gonna do that dumb shit now. And
No,
I
no, I'm not. But I'm just saying
so
for the
fuck
young folks,
all
what if I
that,
have a young crowd? But you never know
man.
what
Who cares
situation
about
you might be
them
thrown
too?
back into.
Ain't nobody worried about them. They'll be all right.
But I'm not saying that the 90-day rule does not work. It does. That's what I'm saying. That was just giving you an example. 'Cause like I said, we learn each other. Okay, you get to learn each other. You get to have fun with each other.
You can
So
learn somebody while you're having
I
intimacy.
just said that we learn each other more. You can still learn each other, yes, but sex can get you to where you not paying no attention certain things because you all looking at sex like, damn, I can't wait to have sex with this person again. Yep, it's gonna be fun because they did
Is
this
that
and
how that
did
works?
that.
So that's how that works, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You let the
All
sex
right.
take over. No, so stop letting the sex take over. Which is, I ain't
Don't
gonna say
let
that.
the
Never
sex take over. Y'all heard it. She said, "Don't let the sex take over."
mind. Yeah.
That
No,
goes for
because
you and you. Don't
it
let
goes
the
for
sex take
everybody.
over.
Yeah, the sex can be good, but is this person good for you? Are they going to be able to grow with you through
That part.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
not just for the moment, through
To be
everything?
able to love and trust you and be with you as you are, not
Hmm.
as what you're gonna be, but
Right?
what
Because
you
you
are.
change. Will this person be with you even when you change? Will this person still be able to grow with you through every single change you go through? And will you be able to grow with this person through every single change they go through?
Yeah, and that's the secret. I'm gonna give y'all the secret to this. If you want, if you want any relationship to work, the most important thing is stop looking at what they can be and take them for what they are. People often look and see the potential in somebody and say, "Oh, they're gonna do this, so they might do." No, no, no. If you care about somebody, you want to be with them, take them for who they are. And of course, you want to grow and mature and so and so. But that doesn't always work out that way together. But the best part of it is, if you take your time, it can all kind of come together kind of nicely. But take your time in a matter of evaluating and getting to know them, which again, in my personal opinion, only takes a week or two, maybe a month tops if you're really busy. But after that, you know who the fuck this person is. And either you gonna make a move
Yes.
or somebody gonna make a move for you. Because sometimes there is no other alternative but to walk away from someone. And you have to be able to determine when to do that. But if you're spending too much time getting comfortable, by the time you choose to walk away, now you might have invested time, got interested, maybe made a plan to go somewhere. Let's skip all of that. Check them out, give a couple weeks. I'm going to suggest another thing too. That cyber stalking, it can be kind of useful, but let's be honest. Anybody that really knows how this internet works knows how to keep themselves off the radar if they really trying to do some sneak shit. Don't laugh at me. It's the
Okay.
truth.
hmm
It is
Okay.
the truth.
Nothing's hitting on the social media. I'm sorry, guys. I don't agree with that. Nothing's hidden. Even if it is something that you're
It
trying to
is
hide, you're
true.
gonna find out. Something gonna be different.
Listen,
I don't care.
you wanna if you sitting there and you got the amount of free time to sit there with your little magnifying glass and you looking in like understand that you are asking for this guy to look at you as a weirdo.
He can. He
Yeah,
can
but
look at
that's
me as
not
a
a
weirdo.
good. That's not
I think it's weird how how they try to hide. Why you hiding?
because sometimes a person wants to. It's not always about them doing some fuck shit, but some
Mhm.
people have lived checkered paths.
So
So a lot of people are afraid of judgment.
so
If you're afraid of judgment, you're not going to tell people about your shit.
but they can judge everybody, huh?
No, they shouldn't be judging anybody either.
Okay. Well they do.
Who's they?
I'm just saying, anybody who want to hide some shit, why you want to hide? If you hiding some shit, you ashamed of something.
Yeah, people are ashamed of something. What if a
Okay,
girl?
then stop being ashamed of shit.
No,
If
what
you
if a
ashamed
girl?
of people that are ashamed of shit are the most judgmental people out there.
What if a girl used to strip?
Okay, she ain't stripping no more. That's not what she doing no more. She got good upper damn body strength.
I love this response. I love it. So your answer is she used to. That's okay.
hmm Yep.
Now, all right. So
She
this is
cool.
what if she if she used to strip and she don't want everybody to find out about that shit. She might go to extra lengths to make sure that that shit was never visible on social media.
Okay, finish.
No, I'm not. I'm leaving it there.
Okay, so I mean, what is she? Why is she trying to hide it? Hell, I might want to take some classes from you, sis. Stop hiding
No,
the shit. Teach me
not
what teach
see.
me what you know.
No. I'm gonna say this: if you are gonna have somebody come out and they have something that they're keeping to themselves, there might be a reason. Everything is not meant for everybody to know.
I got that. I get it. Understandable. But however, if you want to be true, if you really want to be in a relationship with somebody, it's some truths that you should not hide. You should not hide that you got 10 baby mamas. You should not hide that you got five other chicks on the side.
How many?
Five.
So what about four?
Even four. I'm just saying, you shouldn't be hiding any of that. I'm just saying,
It just was a really it was a really specific number, so that's why I kind of laughed because you
I'm
said,
just saying.
"Oh, and let me say this because I meant to say this before." Just to touch on the dating topic and such. If a woman goes out of her way to reach out to you, if she gives you a compliment, or if she just reaches out, because honestly, women don't reach out to men like that. Women typically will give you a little flirt and they leave it there and wait for you to push up and see what's going on. But In this case, if a woman goes the extra mile to give you a compliment or to slide in your DM, don't let the opportunity sit there for too long. Because you may not get lucky that they care to hear you by the time you decide to wake up and respond. You have to snatch opportunity by the neck and run with it when it comes. Because this opportunity could be a once or maybe a couple times in your lifetime thing. But in a long lifespan, you only get with so many people that could be that potential match, and you never know where it's going to come from. So my advice, because I'm looking at the time and I really got to go. My final thing I will say for tonight is always keep your mind open if you're single and looking. Never close your mind off. Never give up or think the opportunity to be together is impossible. It is definitely possible. You just have to have a little faith and have a little patience. But you also have to be proactive. So, with that being said, Sabrina, you got anything?
Yes. On that note, I'm just gonna piggyback off of what you just said. Anybody that I talked to today, complimented, might want to slide in my DM.
Named,
You know who you are.
I will call their name.
Do not,
Don't make me do
sir.
it.
Oh my God.
But bro, you know I know you, and I know I know you. You need to just slide on into the DM real quick.
Just
The
do
DM
that.
are wide open waiting for you.
Hmm. I
That's
gave you a
how,
compliment today,
that sounds good.
earlier. I'm just saying, DM open.
Well, fellas, you heard it from here first. Her DM is open. My DM is not open for that. But you can call me if you need some assistance. Or you can, no, not call me. You can DM me if you need some assistance. Do not try to randomly FaceTime me because I'll make
Uh-huh.
sure that when I answer it, I'm on the toilet or something. And you can see what I had for dinner last night. I'm just saying.
We need to get off. Thank you,
No,
everyone, for tuning in. We
yeah.
appreciate you guys. Seriously, I mean, dead ass. This week has been a quick ass week for us
And,
online, and we
and it's
appreciate
late as
you
shit.
guys. Yes.
I was supposed to be going like a while ago, so I'm going to get to that. And I know Sabrina's got things to do, so
Yes.
even though everything around her's probably closed, so we know what she up to. Yeah, but like I
Talk to
said,
about it.
appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate y'all showing up. People popped in and out, in and out. I know it's late. We're gonna try to do these earlier. It's just tricky because I've been working very long hours. It's really me. It's not Sabrina's fault. But I try to get on here earlier to make something happen. Probably around like 7, 8 o'clock, some shit.
Yeah.
And
You guys
yeah,
again. We appreciate you. See you next time. Bye.
yes, bye.